The Netherlands just put 5 past Sweden in Houston. Germany needed a late bench rescue in Toronto to survive the Elephants. And Japan is just about moving over Tunisia. If you thought the drama peaked, there is a lot more to come. Let's get into it. Welcome back to FUT IN Review World Cup Daily. Episode 20 is live today. I can't believe we've done 20 episodes so far, John. Looking forward to it. I mean, I should introduce my co-host today, John, before I even reference to him. How you doing, John?
Thank you. Good morning. Well, I can't believe that we've done 20 episodes because I'm jet-lagged without even traveling.
Yeah, it has been fun, though. The thing is, this particular World Cup, I think I've watched every single game. I've noticed every single detail. It's just going to be etched in my memory thanks to this podcast. So that's a positive, I guess. That's the positive.
Definitely. I'm just saying, it's 6 a.m. UK time when we are recording this, right? Just
that's the dedication. Yeah. Listener, just letting you know, due to scheduling stuff, we're trying to record this while the Japan versus Tunisia game's going on. But we know there's already been a lot of activity in that game. As we stand, the score is 2-0. But we'll see by the end of the show, the game should be done. Right, John, let's get into it. There was a lot of stuff that happened yesterday. So first things first, let's talk about the mighty Orange. Well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this podcast on Spotify or a video source, you can see that I'm wearing an orange shirt. That's mainly because John and I had a friendly bet about who's going to win. I said Sweden was going to trash Netherlands. Well, I was being a bit facetious, but John convinced me and said that there was no way that Sweden was going to beat Netherlands. And he was right, wasn't he? And hence I have the orange on. John, over to you. Well, how was the game? How did you feel?
First of all, thank you so much for holding your side of the bet. Actually, I was really happy with the match, not only because of the result, but I did a show yesterday with Chris where I did a tactical analysis, and I said they should start with Brobbey. Well, I'm not going to go back listen to yesterday's episode. And then the match, like an hour before the match, the lineups came out, and Koeman said the exact same thing I said on a podcast, which we just did a social media snippet about. So I was like, I don't want to be that guy, but hey, I said that like 10 hours ago, exactly what he said here. And then everyone was like, where were you watching? Make sure that they need to win now, John, because else you make a double fool out of yourself. And we did 5-1, 2 times Brobbey, 2 times Gakpo, which I said, if you give him a little bit of space, just check it out. He'll be flying. Summerville came in, scored the 5th goal. I think there's lessons learned to be learned from the match, but let's not be overly critical. Getting a 5-1 win against the guys that won the first one 5-1. Against, I said it before, Tunisia, which didn't look very good. Probably an overrated result. And I think this showed that.
Yeah. Looking at the game, I think one of the things that really stood out to me was how poor Sweden were in the defensive end of the game. And one of the goals, if you remember, one of the goals literally came off Isak losing the ball in the opposition's half and giving the ball away because of I don't know if it was he just lost interest or he just lost it for a second. That's not normal. But Sweden was very poor today as well for whatever reason.
Well, I think it does help if you score really early. Like I said yesterday, like they will be leaning back. There will be 5 at the back, and until the 22 minutes when they were already 2, when the hydration break started, they went to 4-3-3. They went 4 at the back. And then it's what I said, then you'll get some space. They got some space as well. They didn't score from it, luckily. Disallowed goal as well. But then after the break, the Netherlands adapted to their 4 at the back and just slammed it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think the defense was so poor. I think the Netherlands finally just know where to apply pressure this time around.
Yeah, I think so.
And Brobbey, like you see the strength, Chris said it on the earlier show, you see the strength of a good number 9 moving into the box. I think that's a massive difference between what Netherlands did first, Japan, and now. We had speed going behind lines, and now we had strength going into the box with moving players. And the first 2 goals were goals that just, you make sure you make it as busy as possible and you give as much power as possible to get the ball in. And then hopefully you get a big striker like Brobbey who just walks into the ball and scores. And that happened twice in 20 minutes. So I think can't have a much better start than that. That helps.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think there was a combination. Personally, I think there was a combination of everything just clicking perfectly for the Netherlands having an output like having Brobbey up front, which is a common theme. I think we'll get to another team that we will discuss shortly. Having a striker up front has literally changed the way they played. And I think Spain will go through the same sort of situation. But unfortunately, the difference between Spain, Netherlands, and the other team, Germany, that we're going to talk about is that Spain, I don't think, have a natural number 9 in their ranks, whereas Netherlands and Germany were lucky to. So I think overall, a good result for the Netherlands. And do you see them going far, or do you think this was an anomaly?
No, I think, I said it yesterday as well. I sound like a broken record, I know, but I think when they get space to move in, I think this team is pretty good. There's things to work on, but a semi-final should definitely be possible now.
Oh, I think that's a very positive way to look at it. And I think that's a success in itself, reaching the semi-final with the squad that you have with what's riding right now. I think semi-finals is really good result.
Anyone that beats France is done. So basically, that's what I'm currently facing. And so you need a bit of luck.
Yeah.
But if you play, in all due respect, so let's say you play Scotland, or let's say you can play Brazil, well, I'm pretty confident you can get another round in.
I like how you just combine Scotland or Brazil as the same equals, and that's
I just don't want to face Morocco, mate.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, moving over to Toronto for a massive Group E clash, we saw Germany coming in from a 7-1 win over Curaçao, but Côte d'Ivoire gave them everything they could handle. Frank Kessie opened the scoring at halftime, a half-hour mark for the Elephants. And overall, I think it looked like this game was going to end one way, and then things changed. Hey, John.
I think the Germans let them be surprised by the Elephants, or Ivory Coast is probably better to say. But I think they played really strong. I saw a lot of comments saying Germany should have won this easily already. But I think, of course, the goal from Kessie came out of the blue, but they didn't give that much away in the first half at all. Second half, Germany was better, of course, but lots of chances for Ivory Coast as well. I don't know. I saw people sending me messages like Germany should have already had this, but there were like 2 big chances in the second half as well from Ivory Coast. They could have easily been 3-4-1 ahead if they just pushed through, but it lacks with the finishing there, I think. I mean, Kessie is probably the most dangerous player yesterday. That says it all. There was one player which really stood out for me, and I need to find his name because else I'll mess that up.
From Ivory Coast?
Diomande.
Oh, yeah, Diomande.
He really stood out for me. But Diallo missed so many chances, and I think, unfortunately, Ivory Coast deserved better. Of course, Ivory Coast will go through. They had one match won already, and should be good. But I love this match. I think a 1-1 probably the best result would be deserved, honestly. But
I think Undav clearly showed the reason why he was there, because the way he actually took the chance that came through, he just got a pass, he controlled it, set himself up, and banged it all within a flash of a second, and scored the winner for Germany. That was just perfect. It was a fantastic goal, in my opinion, with all that was riding on it.
Yeah, definitely, and it shows you that depth of the squad does really matter. And yeah, I mean, Germany's through. In an interesting group phase, I think, especially what happened in the other match. But yeah, I think Ivory Coast probably will go through as well. And it's probably a tough opponent to beat, though. These guys are strong and
physical.
And maybe the only thing is they're maybe not the most technical team, but they were very compact as well yesterday. Mm-hmm. Tactically, they were good. They know how to hit Germany on the counters, I think. And they missed Schlotterbeck as well now, right? Germany.
Yeah, Nico.
That definitely hurt them. No disrespect for Rudiger, but I think Schlotterbeck has definitely surpassed him there. Yeah, so interesting watch. It was a really cool match. After all these long nights and long days, I thought I might have trouble staying awake for this one, but didn't happen. Finished it. Then I did fall asleep though until the next match started. But yeah.
It was a fun game. It ended really well as well. So yeah, I think Germany just sheer class and just had the extra bit of quality. But Ivory Coast definitely on their day they can be a hard team to beat.
Yes, one little detail. I'm sometimes for details, and I know I mentioned pink shoes at the start of the match.
Yes, you did.
Of the tournament.
Yeah,
which became a lot bigger thing later on. I want to highlight the Ivory Coast's goalkeeper outfit. That's the best outfit of the whole tournament.
Which color is it?
It
Yellow?
is bright, super bright yellow. Like if you wear that in the middle of the night, people will still easily see you, right? But that's we see a lot of goalkeepers this year that are having a green kit. The Netherlands have the brightest orange kit ever produced in the world, and then they put a bland green goalkeeper kit that's hard like camouflage.
Yeah,
it's like and this one is bright, so like properly bright, and I quite like that. So applaud to him as well.
Well, moving on, we had another tense game in Group B.
Please just move on from your kids, mate.
No, I get it. I think a lot of people have commented on the Netherlands kit being extra orange this time around, which I think it didn't really hit me first. But if you look at it, it is extra orange. It's like brighter than bright orange. So it's just a weird.
You see the difference when you're standing in a crowd of Dutchies yesterday, and I've got the previous kit on. Because, hey, sometimes I need to wash the shirts as well. So I got the previous kits on, which is pretty orange. But then everyone around you is like, ooh, this is bright. Yeah,
That's right. Well, also in Group B, we had a tense battle between Ecuador and Curaçao. After the first outing for Curaçao, you'd expect them to come back with at least to try and do the best they can, not have another 7-1. And Ecuador needed to really win this game to show everyone that this is the team that a lot of people had pegged their hopes on to be the underdogs. But this game ended in a 0-0. It was a thrilling 0-0, as thrilling as they come. And we'll talk about one of the specialist players later on in another segment. But this was a fantastic game to watch. I couldn't believe the number of shots Ecuador was taking on the goal, and just the ball just wouldn't cross the line.
Yeah, it's another one of those matches where... And we saw it with Turkey. We saw it with Cabo Verde last week as well. Goalkeepers make a massive difference this tournament. I think they're underestimated all the time. But in this tournament, some of the goalkeepers put in performances that actually turn the matches around. And it happens more than I think usually, maybe. But yeah, Curaçao needed some luck. Curaçao definitely didn't need some spirit. They've got that in spades. But Rome just saved everything. The most saved of a World Cup match since 1966, I think. So, yeah.
Oh, he was incredible.
Amazing.
He was incredible. And I think Curaçao as a whole tried to defend as well as they could, but it just was getting through. I think shout out to Tahith Chong from Man United. He carried the ball forward every single time Curaçao went forward. He was the main fulcrum of trying to carry the ball forward. And he had a brilliant game. And I think...
And they got chances in.
They did.
I saw people saying, well, it's a good thing that I've got the goalkeeper. That definitely. But they got some chances in this time around as well. It's not like they didn't have any chance to score this match. Sure, the other ones were better, but it's not like they were just leaning back all the time.
No, I completely agree. They had some really good chances, and they did the best they could to actually go ahead and put up a show. And look, they've gained a point. For a nation of 156,000 people, gaining a point at the World Cup is a massive achievement. To be there itself is a massive achievement. But then after the first game of 7-1, you look back and think against a mighty Ecuador to draw. Brilliant result. Good result for them. Ecuador, John, what do you think? Do you think they can do more, or they did everything they could to progress and it's just one of those days? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the latter probably, right? They were so into let's get that goal going that they sometimes forgot about their rest defense, which led to chances for Curaçao. But they hit the bar, 15 shots on target, which were saved. I mean, sometimes it's just also not your day. I think they did everything they could. It's a really good team, though. I mean, they played Germany in the last game, right?
Yes.
Or is that?
No, sorry.
No, sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Ecuador plays Germany next round.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it behind them that they just beat Germany, honestly. I think it's a really good team with a bit of luck. I mean, some of these saves Rome made were like from 1 meter away in the rebound, take it on your shin, take it another one. It's like sometimes it just doesn't go your way, right? So yeah, I wouldn't rule them out yet. And they got 3 points 1 point in the back now. So yeah, a bit of lucky so far. I think this is one of the when they say you also have a when you see the leaks, they have like an not XG, but estimated point or average point you should have gotten. based on your performances. Yeah, these guys are underperforming where they currently are, so they should be fine, honestly, I think.
Should be fun. Hopefully I'm really hoping that they get through, because it would be a shame to lose them so quickly. The chance of them not going through are very, very, very marginal. But fingers crossed they go on to the next stage, because it would be fun to see them, because they do have a lot of talent on display. So it's just a matter of things just clicking in.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on, we have another game, which, listener, we just mentioned that this game is still going on right now live. As it stands, Japan is 2-0 ahead of Tunisia. Tunisia, they just didn't show up, and Japan's just put them to the sword literally for the first couple of minutes. They scored a goal with Kamada, and then Ueda scored a goal in the 31st minute. Both goals were cleanly avoided. Japan's playing a fluid 3-4-3 as it stands, and they look like they're going on the top of Group F alongside the Dutch.
Yeah, definitely alongside, yeah. I think now this was one of those matches which you knew Japan would probably just win, although I thought that from Curaçao as well, so you can never know. But like I said, Tunisia looked really, really poor against Sweden. They changed the manager. Honestly, what can you change as a manager in like 4 days?
Correct.
It's marginal, so they're a little bit more compact. You saw that this when they started the match, but then it took them 4 minutes to concede a goal. So that didn't matter much. Then you're sort of in the limbo because you don't want to concede too much. But you also know that if you don't score, this is by the end of your tournament. And Japan scored the second one with Ueda, who also got a chance before that, actually. And then it's game over. It's 2-0. Japan are actually cruising now. So I just looked. They haven't substituted yet. We're an hour in. It's 2-0. But you can see there's no pressure from Tunisia. They'll probably get one goal more. You know, it's one of those matches where you score one. Might get the second goal in. It's going to be 3-0, 4-0. And this game will bleed out. So that's why I thought it was also safe to just record this while it's been played. Because it's not going to be changing. C'est la vie for Tunisia, I guess.
Unfortunately, I mean, sacking your manager doesn't expect you can't really expect the new manager, even though he's Harvard Renard, who can pull off some historic wins in the past. It's not something you can change overnight and expect a result. So Tunisia, as you said, c'est la vie. Hopefully they have a good last game for the World Cup, and then off they go on their own merry way. All right, listen, we go back to our regular programming and we talk about baller, bottler, and drama for today. And obviously it's easy said than done. The baller for today is Eloy Room, the goalkeeper for Curaçao. 15 saves, the most in a single World Cup match ever recorded in history. Ecuador threw everything at him. Shots, header, one-on-ones, and he stopped all of it. And he's a 82nd ranked Curaçao entire World Cup campaign in one man. He's 82nd ranked. Curaçao is 82nd ranked in the world. Absolutely generational performance. It's just a brilliant performance to watch. And I think it was that game, even though it ended in 0-0, just the drama of watching him make save after save was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, and you saw the frustration with Ecuador as well. But some of these saves were technically just extremely good. But you saw these. Apparently, Advocaat said after the match that he was in a fight or he was angry before the match started with someone else.
Okay.
And Rome didn't want to comment on it yet. So we'll figure that out in the next coming days, I'm pretty sure. And then they asked, is he angry with you? And Advocaat said, no, not at me, but someone else. But it's not my place to tell everyone. Yeah. But Advocaat did say, like, if he's angry and he plays like this, I'm going to make sure he's really angry next match.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... I mean, he had a decent game against Germany and conceded 7. So, it's just life of a goalkeeper. But sometimes it just all goes your way. But standout save for Valencia, the 1-on-1. So that was confidence. You saw confidence in the way he came out of the goal there. Yeah. Yeah, it's happy for him. I think he's a good guy. He played a lot of games, of course, in the Netherlands. The Eredivisie at Vitesse. I think he played 6 or 7, I think 7 games for PSV as well. Yeah, 37 years old, right? Already.
Yeah. But good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Yeah, kudos. I think Undav couldn't have had the baller as well if that match didn't work out this way. Undav probably would have.
We'll talk about Undav again in a short period of time. So we'll move on to the bottler. We have two options for the bottler. Number one, it could be Enner Valencia, as you just mentioned, with missing the shots. He's missed quite a few shots on today's game, but I think we should go back to the Netherlands versus Sweden game and talk about the Swedish defense being the bottlers. They entered the group with on top of Group F with four goal difference. 90 minutes later, the Dutch made sure that advantage was gone. They completely lost the shape, and after the first goal, it looked like things were just never going to come back. They tried to play an aggressive game, and it just didn't work, and they left massive channels for Brobbey and Marlon to exploit. And I think to concede 5 goals in a single World Cup match, you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be commanding the group, it's a big defensive collapse. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree here because I said the first match was so out of proportion. That makes sense. I don't think I don't think that the first match was. They won 5-1 against a team that just completely lost it. They started off like attacking one striker with 3 defenders, and then of course everything else breaks open. I don't think there were many defensive mistakes on its own yesterday. It's like I said, once they break up the 2-0 front, they need to go forward to back. And it took the Netherlands 25 minutes to adjust to that, and they had no answer when they adjusted. So after the second half started, it was an easy walkover. I think this is also just difference in quality, with all due respect. I don't know, like normally. Don't forget, this Sweden team performed so poor that they fired the manager, and they used the Nation League to actually get in the World Cup because they didn't make it out of the group stages. I think Monday, when they beat Tunisia, it was just a poor Tunisia and it was an outlier game.
Yeah, I think that's quite right. It seemed, I think from my perspective, looking at them play, looking at the game against Tunisia, everything just seemed to click for them, where Gyökeres and Isak were just smashing through Tunisia. But looking at Tunisia playing against Japan right now, you realize, Tunisia hasn't rocked up. Sweden just had a really lucky day that day. And it's just the dust settled and the scoreline was the scoreline today.
Definitely. I think if there's someone you should call bottlers, it might be Ivory Coast in the end.
Could be.
Well, given a lead away in the 96th minute, it's probably draw away 96th minute. They would have been through if they drew.
Interesting you mentioned that, because that's the drama. For today is Dennis Undav. And the reason for that is Germany were losing 12 years without a knockout stage appearance, was about to become more. Then Undav came on as a sub, killed it stone dead at stoppage time. 5 goal contributions in just 56 minutes for the World Cup across 2 games. Well, Nagelsmann's got a selection headache now. Does the super sub become the starter, or does he still stay as a super sub? What do you think?
Probably just stays in a super sub. Because
do you?
Yeah, because I think if you have that weapon from the bench, it's probably better to bring it from the bench, right? It's like I said, the Dutch dilemma yesterday. If you start him, you don't have much backup. You don't have a backup plan anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't start him, they can. I mean, we saw Mecha scoring as well the first match, and Mecha wasn't that poor yesterday either. So let him start, bring him in if needed. Sucks for, but he will have a terrific World Championship with half of the effort, half of the time spent in it. I don't think Nagelsmann will change it, but for the third match, which doesn't have any impact for it, of course, he might just try it.
Yeah, he might just try it just to see how it moves. But I do agree with you sometimes. Having a super sub who comes on and scores is very effective. It's extremely effective, especially in a tournament like the World Cup, where if it's working, why change it when it's working really well? But again, if you look at the first half that Germany played, it just the lack of penetration kept happening because Havertz was the only one up front who just kept coming from the wing and just.
Ivory Coast played really well, though. I mean, I saw people saying it was like the German board and they should easily beat this 5-0. Come on, that wasn't realistic. Ivory Coast played really well. Their midfield was in top-tier shape. They hardly lost any tool. This referee also, he doesn't mind a little bit of roughing around like in the midfield. Yeah. And you're not going to body them out of the game. So if you have a referee that will blow for false whenever you get hit a little bit, Germany would have easily beat this, but once they allow the midfield battle to be physical, I saw Chris saying, for example, I like the Germans short passing and playing in midfield. Definitely commendable. But against these beasts of men just bullying you around the midfield, what are you going to do? Yeah, and it took Germany way too long to find an outlet for that, to skip that midfield passing over there. And once they did in the second half, they got way better. They
That's
could
true.
basically run over them. So
That's true. Well, moving along quickly, just to give you a recap of the games that we will cover tomorrow. So firstly, we have Spain versus Saudi Arabia, Belgium, Iran, Uruguay, Cabo Verde, New Zealand and Egypt. I think we'll just stick to Spain versus Saudi Arabia. Any thoughts on whether Spain will have another hiccup against Saudi Arabia, or will they?
it should be done the all right.
Yeah,
I think
fair.
First one was an outlier, and also the Saudi Arabia is a cool team, to be fair, but Spain must have learned a lesson. They will try to find a number 9 and will get a little bit more pressure in that. That should be fine.
Well, that's a wrap for a wild day of football, ladies and gentlemen. We will come back again tomorrow and walk you through the other games. Germany's through. Japan is taking care of business. Before you head out,
already now.
Oh, 3-0. There you go. Before you head out, just follow us on our socials at FUT IN Review, on Instagram at FUT IN Review Podcast, on TikTok. Leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It takes 10 seconds and helps us immensely. Sign up to the newsletter, and we would love to hear your feedback. And if you do like what you're listening to, please do jump on to Buy Me a Coffee. So it's buymeacoffee.com/FUT-IN-Review. And we'll be back tomorrow, and we will dissect everything tomorrow for you. All right, have a good one.
See ya.